Hola, hola. It's your girl, Erika from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, queen, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome. And I am here to remind you, I'm a confidence coach, a business mentor, a speaker, an author, and I am obsessed with women standing up, showing up, and creating their confidence. And I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. All right, welcome back to the podcast, or welcome if it's your first time here. I am talking today with my beautiful husband, Mr.
Ex-wife, Hamish Cramer.
Yay, Hamish Cramer's in the house. Pew, 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 pew. We're so happy to have you. And obviously the title is about my secret weapon in business. I've given away the secret weapon.
Oh, I'm the secret weapon.
Yeah, it's you, babe.
Oh, I'm a weapon.
Yep. And I wanted to talk to Hamish, especially because we've been jamming quite a lot this past month about the Queen's Table and what we do behind the scenes at the Queen's Table. And I get so many messages from y'all like, oh my God, your business and what you've been able to do. And we watched your America tour and you got your TEDx and you did your book and like, you're killing it. And I always say on the podcast, like, don't say I'm killing it because you don't know what it takes to kill it. Am I dying? And I sound a little bit sniffly because I was sick over the weekend. First sickness in 12 months. High five. A 2-day head cold. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about this because I think if you are in business or you want to build a business or you have a side hustle and you have big dreams and big goals and you're looking around and you're like, how do people do it? Like, how do these women make 7 figures? How do they get on stage? How do they build these big ass businesses and audiences? And how do they do it? How come I can't seem to do it? Where am I getting stuck? Or if you're starting out and you're wanting to build this, we wanted to share a little bit behind the scenes on how we've been able to do it. And before I even get into it, I just want to admit and let you know, come forward with, I would not be where I am in my business if my secret weapon, Hamish Cramer, was not with me because I'm a psycho.
That's very nice.
No, but it is true. I do believe it. Like, look, I'm a hard worker and I've done my thing, but I wanted to talk to you, Hamish, here on the show because I think that obviously the women that we coach and who we work with, we think they love me and they're going to benefit from speaking to me. But after 12 months of working with these high-level, amazing personal brands and these women who have massive impact to make, huge impact, we're realizing the more and more they need to talk to Hamish. And the more they talk to Hamish, the more trouble I get into. Like, wait, babe, what are you doing with these women? And I'm like, okay, so you have to go through Mr. Cramer first. And the reason why is because obviously as a creative, as a woman, as someone who is a big visionary, if you're a visionary, I'm talking to you. You're like, I want millions of impact. I want to change the world. I want to do all these things. I want to write books. I want to do movies. I want to, all the massive impact that you have to help millions. If that is you out there, I want to ask you, what part of you is grounded in these systems and operations and profitability and expenses? And if you've already zoned out because you're bored, like that's exactly what I'm talking about. So the reason why I think you're a secret weapon, Mr. Cramer, is because if I was running this by myself, let's be honest, I would just be doing really brave, audacious, crazy shit, but I would probably burn myself out. I would have 7,000 ideas that I was trying to action at once. I would be on social media 24/7. I'd be running events, killing myself, and I'd be air quotes killing it. But behind the scenes, the profitability wouldn't be there. The structure and the system wouldn't be there. And I would probably drive whatever team I did attract crazy, and they would probably leave. So what do you feel like you have brought into the business, 2021 or 2022?
22 or 1, I think I came.
Yeah, because you closed the gym and then you came into the Queen of Confidence and you were like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, well, I think there's 2 points or 2 caveats that I think we should make. And yes, I may be a somewhat secret weapon for our business, like you are. But I would also say that I don't think the business would be where it is today if it wasn't for you. Erika Cramer, secret weapon.
Crazy weapon.
I think if it was just on my own. I mean, you've got the drive and the energy and the creativity, and sometimes you pull things out of a bag, and I'm
culo.
like, how the hell did you manage to pull that off? And I think that comes from your ability to be creative and audacious, and I don't know, you seem to have a finger on the pulse with humans and their emotions and what they need. So I think really the secret weapon is both of us. I think we've come together, and I think what I do see when it comes to people and their businesses, especially women in business, is that they don't have a good partnership, whether that's with their significant other, which is sometimes the case, or a business partner. And I think we all have, and I know you've talked about this in previous podcasts about the masculine and feminine, and I won't go into that a lot, obviously, but
you're coming back for that.
Oh,
He's coming back for that. Don't worry. It's been highly requested.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that on another podcast. But I do believe that we all have our opposing energy. You know, like opposites attract. You know, like I see so many couples, and we look at them all the time, and we're like, oh, they're like literally the opposite of each other. Like,
yeah.
But it is funny. Like most couples will be the opposite, and I think the reason for that is because we often need what the other person or our partner has, and so I think what makes you really great is something that I've been able to take on board, and then some of the benefits and skills that I've had, you've taken on board, and I think what that does is it balances out our relationship.
Yeah, but also in our business.
And then so that balances out our business, because then we're getting a really great perspective of both. And I think what I see, or what we see with a lot of businesses, is there's a conflict maybe between either inside that person or like in the relationships they have. They don't have the support.
Yeah.
They don't have that person that's strong-willed. I think some of the fundamentals of a relationship, let alone a business relationship, is that you do support each other, but you also keep each other accountable. And I don't know if that's happening less lately, where we're not willing to, I don't know, upset our partners or have those deep discussions. Maybe we don't know how to have deep discussions. Like I hear from a lot of men in that are like, well, I don't want to upset her, or I want to be supportive, so I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to upset her. And I understand that perspective, but I also realize that we also do need someone to, you know, hey, that doesn't make sense, or can you explain that to me, or no, I think that's a bad idea, right?
Yeah,
like,
we shouldn't invest in that. Or
we shouldn't do that right now. Like I don't think that's a good idea. And I think maybe they say that, like I said, because they don't want to cause any problems. And so and I think what we've been able to do is, while we have our fights and our arguments, I think we've learned how to communicate with each other when we have an opinion on something and go, hey, I think this.
Yeah.
And I think you respect my opinion.
Totally.
Which I think very important. Yeah. And I think vice versa, when you say something.
There's a version of you, and I say this jokingly when Hamish isn't around on the calls. I'm like, the Hamish inside of me wants you to know, because I think I've spent, I will have to say, like, how long did you were in business for family business, and then how many years? 24 years?
I've been in business for most of my adult life, if I'm honest. Like
He's an old man, y'all.
I'm only 35 now. But I think I had an entrepreneurial spirit pretty young.
Yeah.
And I only was in the workforce for a very short time, and I was fortunate enough to work for my family in a family business. And while that was a difficult experience,
traumatic,
it was invaluable, because working for family taught me a lot of great lessons, and it also taught me about the different sides of the business. Like, you know, I was in accounts and payrolls and sales and operations, so I got exposed to a lot of things, especially in small business, where I think you have to take on multiple roles, while in large companies it's there's a bit more resources. So I think I got exposed to business very early and saw it, and then I started my own PT business very early as well.
Yeah. And then the gym.
And then I opened a bricks and mortar gym, and I had a team.
You had a business partner.
I had a business partner. So so my experience in that, and I think before that, I think I did Amway and like multi-level marketing.
I didn't know that.
I did.
Okay, Mish.
Yeah, for like a month.
Watch out.
So I was always trying to find. I was a massage therapist. I'm trying to do massage on the side.
That's how I got together with you.
Yep.
Trying to get a side
She
boob.
seduced me. Yep. Now she gets free massages.
Yes.
Which sucks.
Yeah. Right. I wish I did. So I wanted to ask you. You said something about partnership. So one of the things I know that we talk about with, especially in business, it's our own personal belief. So it's not gospel, my friend, but we always talk about like how we don't love the idea of business partnerships.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm thinking about a client of ours who's fucking amazing, but very much like me, chaotic and crazy and all over the place, ADHD and all the things that we have, and has massive vision and ideas, but can get bogged down by all the shiny objects and, doesn't run the team correctly, and then financially struggles. And really, when you now have worked with her, you've refocused everything. You've cleaned the whole back end with her. You've helped her to really laser focus. And now the shit that she's building is going to build so much wealth and give her her time and freedom back so she can get on stage and impact and do all that. Yeah. So what do you think, if they don't have a business partner, what do they need? Is it like mentorship? What, like they need to get in containers like what we're doing? Like, because we don't always recommend like you need a business partner, because usually people don't know how to pick a business partner.
In fact, business partners are probably sometimes the worst decisions you can make, and the hardest. And I've been on the receiving end of bad partnerships. So I definitely agree. Business partnerships, I don't know. There's very few I see that go very well. Having said that, though, relationship part, and it's because of the relationship part, and like we were just talking about, people just don't know how to relate. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to deal with, have difficult conversations. They don't know how to conflict resolve. So these kind of fundamentals in any relationship is only intensified more by having a business and money and financials and investments, and it becomes complicated. So I don't always recommend business partnerships. Yeah. However, with the type of clients that we're working with, and if it's a solopreneur, there is, and they're in a family, well, your partner is involved in the business whether you like it or not. They're probably running the family unit. That's another business if you think about it. So they're involved or they're impacted by your decisions, right? Yeah. And so they're probably an indirect partner, and I still think that there is that can be the issue. Well, that's the thing. We don't have to have a business partnership, but if you're in a relationship, they're involved with you. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I think one of the things that I really love that you've kind of brought into the business, because I didn't have, was, like I was just saying before, the shiny object syndrome. Like, I think that all of my ideas that I have right now should be actioned, especially if they come from the shower. I'm like, oh my God, I got this great idea. And Hamish knows when I'm in the shower, like I literally have to write everything down, because all the ideas come in. And we were recently watching, and we don't believe everything about what Hormozy and them do, but in business stuff, he's pretty good. And we were recently watching a video that Alex Hormozy did, and he was saying that he has like a pad on his phone of like all his ideas, multi-million-dollar ideas that he's like not allowed to do, because even him, with all the money and the resources that he has, it would completely distract, divert, significantly impact his current model and his business and what they're trying to do. Yeah. And so I think one of the greatest things that you have been able to do, especially with the women that we've coached in our programs and the Queen's Table, one-on-one, all of our clients, is really laser focus people. Yeah. And why do you feel, if anyone's listening that's like that, why do you feel like we get distracted by all the ideas? What do you feel like is missing, and what can women who feel like this do in order to, if they had Hamish in their pocket? If you want Hamish, the only way I give my husband away is if you join the Queen's Table. You can't have have an overnighter with him, but you can borrow my husband, and he can be your CEO. But yeah, like what? Well, what is it called? Indecent proposal or something?
Yeah, it sounds like indecent exposure. But
yeah, anyway, I don't know.
I'm not exposing myself.
So yeah, what would you say to someone?
Well, I think we might need to define who we're speaking to, and I think this goes out to, it could be a woman or a man. Yeah. But really the person that is the creative, maybe you have lots of ideas, you have lots of energy, you keep, moving from thing to thing. Maybe you're the driver of the business, maybe you're the personality, maybe you love, being around people, you love speaking, you love being in groups, you're very social. Like this is probably the hallmark of the type of client that we're speaking to. You're the creative one. I don't know what else. What are the other?
I'm trying to think of the other ladies who aren't extroverts, but they do have a lot of ideas. And also, this can come out if you're not an extrovert. Is like you look to the side and you see what other people in your industry are doing. And you're like, shit, I should be doing that. And it's your lack of internal confidence, of like belief that I should be doing what they're doing, and why am I not doing events, and should I have a podcast? And it's like we look to the sidelines, or we're so self-driven internally and out there that we want to do all of our big visions for later right now. So like the thing you should be doing in year 3 or year 4 or year 5, or, when you've hit this milestone, then do that. People are like, fuck that, I'm going to do everything now. Because there's a little bit of like disbelief that you can wait and the patience to wait.
Sure.
So it's like we hit ourselves up with wanting to do everything right now.
Yeah. So that's the type of client that we're kind of really speaking to, or the person that we're speaking to. And it
worked at the beginning. Sorry. It worked in the beginning.
And I think that's the trap.
Because we hustled.
I think that's the trap because it works in the short term.
Yeah,
right?
to make maybe your first 6 figures, but then
100% it works because, and especially when you're a small business and it is only you, you have to wear multiple hats. You have to do a lot of different things. You have to be outrageous. You have to go out there. And you want to jump on every opportunity. Like when we were starting our coaching business,
say yes to everything.
You coach everybody, right? If someone wants you to speak, you jump on that. You jump on those opportunities, whether it's the right audience or not. Yeah. So I think you're right. What happens is it becomes a trap, as in the beginning, it's great, but it is not something that is sustainable to grow or scale up a business.
Yeah.
Which I think once you do hit a certain threshold, I think that starts to happen. We've talked about burnout. You know, that tends to come
overwhelmed.
We get very overwhelmed, and for a lot of women, which is still the case. They're also, looking after the kids and still taking care of the family unit as well, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not every case, and I know it's been balancing out a little bit more, but I do feel like even with our clients, there is still an aspect of
totally
mothering and being a mother for your kids, and even if it's not as intense as previous generations, there's still that guilt and that shame factor. I think a lot of our women
clients
feel. They go, well, I should be doing more with the kids.
Especially, I think, if the husband's not, or the partner, or the boyfriend, or whoever, if they don't have a partnership, like if you don't have a partnership, you don't have it, right? We have another client who's single. She's a single mom. She does all this shit herself. She's amazing. The juggle is real, and she makes it happen. But if you are in a partnership and your partner works a 9 to 5 and you're an entrepreneur, it is such a different language that you speak. They literally speak security, right? And what's the word called when you have what is Tony Robbins, the 6 things, the human desires?
Human needs.
Yeah. What is it? When shit's always how it needs to be. What is that called? Not uncertainty. Certainty. Sorry. Okay. So he's like, what? Okay. So like if your partner works a 9 to 5 and is in corporate, then they really love, like they're risk adverse. They love security and they love certainty. Entrepreneurship is the fucking opposite, right? It's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, what are you doing? You're going to do what? Like, that's a bad idea. So it's like you're married to an accountant. You know what I mean? Or an accountant's son, like Hamish. Anyway, like, I think that was you in the beginning. You were like, wait, you can't do that. You're going to show up on Instagram. Wait, we're doing a retreat in Bali. We have to pay $3,000 US. What? How are we going to pay that? And I'm like, you can't run a retreat if you don't pay the venue. Like, it's going to get paid. And then it did. And Hamish was like, okay, shit. Okay. So it is really complicated if you are, and we see this a lot, the partners are the stable ones, and then the women feel irrational and irresponsible, plus the mom guilt because they're out there doing really risky shit, putting themselves out there, creating offers, and I feel so bad because so many of them don't have, I think the partner who is grounded and risk adverse has some goodness to bring into the business, but it's like they're speaking 2 different languages. So then she never, and this is back to the masculine feminine, but she never takes his ideas on. She doesn't listen to him because she feels like, you don't fucking get it. You work a 9 to 5, or you don't get it. You're not in the business. And then he's like, you're a crazy person. You don't listen to me anyway. You do whatever the fuck you want. And then nobody's having sex. It tears things up. So I guess I say that because if you're listening and you are like that and you don't feel like you have the support, one of the number one things that I believe you need to do is find mentorship or get in community with people that have what you need. So like, obviously Hamish is my husband, but if he wasn't, I would need to find a partner. I would need to find a mentor or a community of someone that thinks different to Erika, because I need to level up my business, and I'm not going to do it with my brain and my mind, but with my limited amount of knowledge. Yeah. And so I think when we've joined programs, the people that we've learned from don't think like us. Yeah. They're on another level of us, and we have enough discernment. We were just talking about it over the weekend because I was sick and I was watching webinars and trainings, and I have enough discernment to go, that's good advice for you, but I don't need to take that on. But there's some stuff that I do need to take on. Yeah. And so that comes with experience. But I think it's important, if you're listening to this and you feel like you're all over the place and you're not structured and your creativity is taking over, your ADHD, your, and what's that called? Shiny object syndrome. Yeah. you really do need to find someone that you can confide in, or a community or a mentor that can help you to laser focus and put all of your energy into the thing that you're doing, so that that thing makes you money. And then with that money, you can get help / resources. So then you can focus later on the other things that you want. So brings me to point 2. What do you feel like when you're talking to the Queen's table, money mindset side of things?
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the issues that you think creative women that were, on our own, doing our own thing, struggle with, or something that we can work on that you see?
Well, I think with going back to the first point, when you're not focused and you're not doing one particular thing, or you've got shiny
object syndrome,
shiny object syndrome, and you're jumping to multiple things, I think the finances follow the same mentality.
Yeah, that's so
very,
true.
very easily, because a lot of these things that you're engaging in will require resources, whether it's financial resources or resources of your time. And if you think about the business, and like we were talking about, once you get to a certain level, you can't do the same things that you do, what you did to get there. The two resources, which are really what's limited, is time and money, right? And so we really look at how do we make that time and money more efficient. And so what I see with a lot of businesses or entrepreneurs who have this kind of hallmark is they're spending a lot of money or throwing money at a lot of different things, hoping something will work. And often they're making, because they move so quickly, and again, this is a characteristic which has many benefits of making quick decisions, moving on to the next thing, not being indecisive. That's a good thing, right? But sometimes it can be a detriment, because if you don't think through where your investments are going, where you're spending your money, are you getting a great return? Can you actually afford to be doing this right now?
That is such a good question.
Can you afford it, right? And I think Hormozis say it really, really well, is that whatever opportunity you take it by cutting off all others. Like when you make a decision, you cut off all other options. And I think with anything that you do, you have to make a bet that you're putting your time and resources towards something at the cost of all the other opportunities and things you could be putting your time and money to. So you can only do that to one thing. So you have to go, okay, let me focus my time and energy on one of those things. I have to cut everything else off.
Yeah.
And I think you have to really then think, is this the best opportunity for my time and resources? And when you're moving really, really fast, or used to moving fast, you can sometimes make mistakes really quickly because you haven't really thought through, or you haven't had someone come up to you and go,
that's a shit idea. Hey,
have you thought about X, Y, and Z? Or what if this was the alternative? Or what if you spent that money or that time in this area, right? So I think that's where money ends up going, and we see a lot of businesses hit a ceiling where you're probably feeling like you're working hard and you're trying to work harder and harder, but the money is actually not growing, or the scaling of the business just seems to be harder and harder. You sometimes might be feeling like you're going backwards. Yeah. And that's really where it's time for a change in terms of how you're working, not just working harder and doing more, hiring more staff to do more and more things.
Touch on that?
Yeah, go for it.
So when we have calls with the women who join the Queen's Table, we do an onboarding call. And this call is really to find out it's like an interview. It's like a date. We're like, how are you? Who are you? What do you like? What do you do when you get overwhelmed? Who's on your team? Who's supporting you? What's the big vision? We just kind of get everything out from them. And the amount of people who are paying so much money for a team because they don't know how to do it. And if you don't know how to do something, you're going to pay for the lack of skill that you have. And that can be dangerous because you might not need to pay. You might just learn quickly and figure it out yourself, especially when you're under 7 figures. And so they have a shitload of team. They're people pleasing, so they don't want to say goodbye to the person that they made friends with. And they think they're really lovely. But at the end of the day, who cares if you like her? Be her friend then. Don't let her work for you and pay her a paycheck because that takes your profitability. And I think it's really important because we have supported some women that were about to make some humongous money mistakes on investing things. And we're like, no, that is not a good idea, my friend. Like, think about this, and this. And you don't have that devil's advocate or that other side. And then obviously because we're a couple in business and many of the women are married or have a partner, we like, fuck, their husband or their partner doesn't see that. And they're an employee, and that's fine if they're an employee. But they don't have that perspective, and I feel like it's so dangerous when it comes to money. We had a lady recently who joined the Queen's Table, And at the beginning of our call, we were just chatting about it. And she said to me, I've got savings, I've got this, me and my husband's backing me, like I've got the money, but like I just don't know if this is the right choice. And I said to her, like, with full integrity and a full fucking body, yes, my love, at the end of this, when I finish speaking to you, I will honestly let you know if I think you should take your savings and invest it in our program, the Queen's Table. Because me and Hamish have been on the other side of those calls where we have put everything we had on credit cards and money that we saved, and we're parents and we have a lot of shit that we have to worry about, and invested in programs that were not the right thing. Yeah. And sometimes they were the right thing. And so I would never, integrity first, I would never send someone the wrong way. And then she's speaking and sharing, and I'm like, girl, if you don't fucking join the Queen's Table, you're fucked. Yeah. You're going to waste all that money on bullshit, and you're not going to get to where you want to go. And in 10 years, you're going to go, I was bad at business. Okay, my love, real quick, I want to interrupt this episode to let you know that if you are listening and you want to build a 7-figure personal brand, you want to get on stage, you want to write books, you want to publish and podcast and get media and PR, and you have a massive vision to impact millions, then the Queen's Table may be for you. It is my incredible container where I personally coach one-on-one and in group women who want to build a 7-figure business. Not only 7-figure business, but a 7-figure personal brand business. You want to monetize your knowledge. You want to grow your audience. You want to impact and have more income and influence and visibility. This is the container for you. We are now onboarding for the September cohort. All you have to do is click the link in the show notes or go to thequeenofconfidence.com, click on the Queen's Table, go through the page, vibe and see if it's for you. And if it is, drop in your application. What we're going to do is review all the applications. You will hear from our team within 48 hours. If it is approved and we're a good fit, then you and I will jump on a live Zoom. We'll chat for about 30, 45 minutes. I will get a clear vision of where you want to go and let you know if we can support you. I look forward to seeing your applications. All right, enjoy the rest of the episode. And that is not true. If you're listening to this, you are not bad at business. You just have things that you haven't been taught, mentorship that has not been there, people that have not supported you or been fucking honest with you and been like, that fucking, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing that for? What's the point of that? Yeah. And I think having you, Hamish, has been, and I wanted to obviously highlight you and also say, if you don't have someone like this, highly recommend mentorship, getting someone like this in your life and business, because it's so necessary. We can't be one-sided. We can't run business off our fucking Instagram. That's not your business, by the way. That's one of the marketing channels. Hamish showed me that early on. He's like, honey, your whole business is not Instagram. And I'm like, yeah, but I made so much money from Instagram. He's like, yeah, you're lucky you made a lot of money from Instagram, but you cannot treat Instagram like it's your whole fucking business. That's not a business strategy. And I was like, oh my God, he was so correct. Yeah. You were right about that, right? I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I can't put all my eggs in Instagram. We have to build an email list. And after we made 6 figures, $500,000, we were like, shit, we better build an email list. Like, we were lucky, and I have a lot of fucking energy, and I'm a little bit crazy, and I love building community, and I'm good at that shit. And I actually enjoy showing up on social media. Many of you don't like it. So you're fucked if you don't set yourself up, right? So it's like, okay, hold on a minute. What kind of strategy is this? And so I never thought about the things, how he thinks. And I think it's important, if you're only thinking about things your way, that you get another perspective that is nothing like you.
Totally.
That, like, they can't be like you at all, because you'll take from them what you need and you'll still be you. But it's important to get other perspectives, especially if you have massive impact you want to make. You're going to be making money mistakes. You're going to be, some of our clients are like, how much do I charge for this? And I'm like, that's a stupid question. What are we fucking doing? Tell me what you're giving them. What are you creating? What is it about? And how much is it costing you to build this? How much does one client cost you? Oh, I didn't think about that. I'm like, then don't ask me how much you're going to charge. Like, go back, find out all of that, and then come back. And they're like, oh my God, I was making no profit. Oh my God, I need to up my price. And it's so beautiful to watch them realize that versus us saying, raise your price. And they're like, why? Like owning that experience yourself. And you really taught me that. I feel like now, from learning from you, I can now think like you.
Totally.
Which is what the core of mentorship is. It's not that you become your mentor. How many people do we see becoming mentors that we've had in the past? Like, you're not going to be your mentor. You're not going to be me. You're not going to be whoever you have. I don't want to be Tony Robbins, right? Like, even Tony Robbins is not Jim Rohn. Like, all these people learn from other people, but you want to find what you're missing. And I think the high-level creative, visionary, even spiritual, up there in the clouds, we struggle. Fucking money is such a big... We have friends that just waste money on bullshit. And if you run out of money, you don't have a business.
It's a wasting of time and it's a wasting of money. Those are the two resources, right? That right. If you think about it, they're embedded in time and space. And when you're a creative and you're in, you're up in the your imagination and you're being creative, some of those aspects they can be really difficult to deal with because they follow certain rules, right? And so I think like what Erika's saying is you do need that other person that gives you that perspective, that gets you to manage that time and that money more effectively, so that you can then grow and expand and do more of it. So I totally agree. Yeah.
So we've talked about focus. One of the biggest things is us looking left, right, and center everywhere, except for where we need to look. Mm-hmm. And what's one thing you would say if somebody was like, I'm lacking focus, and they need help to really just laser focus on one thing? What's one thing that you could tell them to do?
Well, I think what I do is when I'm working with our clients is I really love to go like, what's the plan? Like, where are we going? And I think, again, for a lot of maybe creatives, the destination isn't very clear, right? I think they tend to maybe be very reactive.
Yep, the clarity.
And so they don't have a real clarity on where they're going and why they want to go there. So for many of my clients, it's really sitting down with them and going, okay, in the next 12 months, the next 3 years, and the next 5 years, what are we trying to build here? Like, what type of business and why are we building it, right? And for a lot of them, they want to have a business that gives them freedom of time, and they want to make good money, or they want to impact with their knowledge. They've got something to share, they've got expertise that they have, and they want to share it with a bunch of people. They want to make money from that, and they want to free their time up.
Yeah.
Right? So often when I'm looking with our clients, many of the things that they're pursuing in the moment are in opposite to creating that type of a business.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yep.
They're doing everything they can, and I think maybe their attitude is, if I do as much as I can, I'll maybe eventually land. And so the more I do, the more likely it is that I'll reach that goal. And what I do with a lot of them is make them realize that that's exactly what's stopping you from getting to where you want to get to. There are certain actions that a person can take and certain actions in business that will really help them. And so help them get to where they want to go to. So first of all, I said, what is the goal? What is the business model? What is the structure? And why are we doing it? Like, if you think about creating a business, we're creating a business for lifestyle reasons. We want to be fulfilled by giving of our gifts. We want to make money so that we can have a great lifestyle and support the people who we love around us. Like, those are the reasons why you start a business mainly. And because it feels good, because you want to impact people and help. So like, those are the reasons why people start businesses. So then we have to work, what's the best model that's working already, because I love looking at what people are already doing and what's already working, and how can we then replicate that particular model for you, because you want to have something similar. So that's my first step. And then once we know where we're going and what model we're pursuing and why, then it's like,
what are you doing all that for?
Then it's the season of no. Then it's like, see what you're doing? No.
What's that for? What's that for? And it's so true.
And it is. And very clearly, even for them, they start to realize once we get really clear on what the destination is, they're like, I shouldn't be doing all of these. 100%.
Yeah.
It's like, if I want to go to Europe, there's no point trying to go to New Zealand first and then cutting across to the United States and then going to New York and then getting to Europe, right? Like, that's the long way, right? Yeah. There could be a more efficient way. No. It might be fun. It might be more expensive. It might waste a lot more time.
It's actually true. Wasting time and money.
It's not the most efficient way, especially if you're trying to get to your goal as quick as you can. So, so in that kind of a scenario, like, you want to sort of then limit your, like, say no more to more things, and really focus on the 1 or 2 or 3 actions that you can do that really drive the needle forward in the direction of where you want to go.
What is it? Doing less, but like better.
Yeah, and focusing, right? Like, we always compare it to the magnifying glass. Like, that's just what I love about creatives. Like, they've got energy and enthusiasm most of the time. Yeah. So if I can take that energy and enthusiasm and they're spreading it over 10 different things, and I can go, okay, let's cut it down to one thing, and imagine the energy that they can put into one thing. Yeah. But this is where the issue happens with these creatives. They start to get bored. Once I tell them, hey, now that we know where we want to go and we know the one thing that you need to do to do it, boring. They start going, yeah, but is there something else I should be doing? What if I should do this as well? And you can start to see their mind conflict with them. Yeah. because they find it boring. They want to be entertained.
It's like fitness.
It's like fitness, very much
like
so.
exercise.
It's like
same shit.
Yeah, and I've been in the fitness industry for a good 15 years. And
change it every 6 weeks.
And
6 week focus.
I've seen trends come and go, and it's so funny because literally most trends in fitness are the same thing that's just been repackaged.
Yeah.
The fundamentals haven't changed. The human body hasn't really changed that much.
Yeah,
we
just get bored.
We just get bored, and people want it to be new and have variety, and I totally understand that. But I think if you're serious about growing your business from this kind of threshold onwards, it means that, it's going to be boring, and you have to find a way for you to stay focused and to complete things. And so like Erika was saying, we have something called a 6-week focus, where we try to go focus on 1 to 2 really important things that need to be done, or projects, and get them done and finish them. And the key is to finish
them. That's another thing. Oh God, there's too many things we could talk about.
Totally, because
focus
the thing,
and finishing.
They're starting a lot of things, they're not finishing things, and all of them are great ideas, but they haven't gone to the end of it and finished it. And and I think a lot of people think once you do something, like just for example, a lead magnet, and you write the emails and then you put it out there, like, cool, that's it. But that's not it. There's a lot of testing and measuring that we need to do. And I believe some of the best businesses are the ones that are the most innovative, the ones that are like, ooh, that didn't work. Let's change this. Let's change the messaging. Let's change the copy. Let's change the image.
Like find out why. Yeah.
Find out why and make small improvements and changes to see if that makes it better.
Yeah.
So that's my PT background.
Yeah.
Where we're trying to get the nuances out of the movement or make it better by focusing on the smaller details. But often we're not completing the project to start with to allow those changes
But
to
I
happen.
think you're spot on. Like if we don't know where we're going, then it's like I always say, like we need to plug the GPS and we need to go, this is the end result. Now the journey to get there, you're not going to get there as fast as you want if you pit stop everywhere, if you go down alleyways, if you have an overnighter, if you veer off to, whatever place, like that's going to take you a longer way versus going straight to your destination where you're trying to go, saying no to everything else, focusing fully. I did an episode early on in the podcast called If You Want to Leave a Legacy, Listen to This. I will link it below. It's really about it's about kicking off the distractions as you climb the tower. And we feel so bad because we want to help people. We want to do this. We want to do that. But I could do this. But I could. Yes, you could. But what does the fucking saying say? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So what? I could do a million things. You think I don't have all the opportunities for confidence with kids and men and this and that? Yeah, but then I wouldn't be focused on this thing. And it takes so much energy. And you think, no, I could do it. We underestimate what we can fucking not do and overestimate the shit that we can do, right? And it's like, if you can start to say no more and have that focus, 100%, that is one of the biggest things. And finishing. How many of you have books that are half read or notebooks that are half written? High five. I'm seeing myself in this. Second thing, money. So... Oh, it's such a big one. It's such a big one because we believe, obviously, we've invested on credit cards that we didn't have the money. And I would fucking do it again 10 times over because when I learn things that I don't know and when I evolve my identity into a person who is not in scarcity and is not struggling and has confidence and believes she can do it, I become unstoppable as fuck. And then all that money I put on credit cards to invest, I can pay it off. And that's been our reality. Like we've been able to pay shit off and build businesses and do everything we can with all of our crazy life story, which we shouldn't be able to have been, but we could because we invested. So I would invest 100%. But I think that for me, I would say one of the things you need to be mindful of is what you're investing money in. And again, how much money do you have, right? How much do you have? How much will it cost? What are the expenses? Is the point of doing this profitability? Is the point of doing this marketing? What's the fucking point of doing this? Totally. And I think we don't think about that. What do you feel like is one of the biggest money trip ups? Just one that you could give advice to.
I'm going to tell you right now, the biggest advice that I can give anyone in business is you should be checking your numbers daily. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you are not looking at your bank account every single day,
zero,
and looking at your zero and knowing what money is coming in and coming out. If you don't know, or you wait till the end of the quarter, or you never look at it, or you wait for your accountant to tell you, you're leaving a really big part of your business, a very important part, unmanaged, unattended to. And I know for many of us, it can be very shameful, or it can be disheartening to see the money and to see the numbers. But trust me, if you will never manage your money as well, like only you will manage your money as well as you. Like no one else is going to take care of it as well as you will. And I've had accountants and I've sacked so many, and every time that I've got into a situation is because I've handed over that responsibility to somebody else. And I appreciate at certain levels of business, you actually have to hand it over and get someone to manage it for you. But I still do believe that as an owner of your business and as it being your money, you should know exactly what's happening. You should know where it's going. And you want to also double check the people that are managing these things for you, because we've had so many mistakes when it's come to accounts. We've had so many mistakes when it's come to tax and setting up the business that we thought, these accountants should know and they should tell us.
We're paying them good money.
We're paying them all this money. You know, they know more than me. And I think when it comes to money, no one should know it more than you. You should know your money inside out. You should understand money. You should know how money grows. You should know how to invest money. Because, great, you make a whole bunch of profit. What do you want to do with that money, right? You want to understand your taxes. Unfortunately, it's one of those things, especially if you, Australia, one of the highest tax, you're going to have to cop it, right? And that can destroy your business if you're not efficient with that tax, and and minimize it in the most legist way possible. Yeah. But also, how are you reinvesting money that you make from the profit in the business? If you're not profitable in the business, well, you want to know that, right? Like you're going to have to make some serious budgetary changes and make some cuts if you're not making the revenue that you do. I mean, at the end of the day, the two levers you have is make more income and reduce your expenses. So if you're finding that you're not making money in your business, those are the two things you have to go to town and focus on. And so, so my advice is, again, look at your bank account daily. I think it takes a lot of stress away when you get to know what's there and the reality of it. And you start to know, hey, money's going into that, money's going over there. Should that be the case? And you start asking questions. Yeah.
See how fun it is to be married to Hamish? Hey, what's this over here? What's that over there? I'm like, shit.
What's this $5.99?
What's this here, Erika? What are you buying? And I'm like, oh. But it is good. I really hated it at first because I felt like Hamish was like a dad that I never had. And I'm like, stop asking me this. I don't want to. But then the reality is when you have someone that's different to you, a couple things happen. You repel them and you're like, fuck them. They're not correct. They're like parental. You rebel against them. And the part of you that's rebelling, PS, is rebelling because you're triggered because you feel like some of that shit is true. And you could be a teenager if you want, bitch, and rebel all you want. But the reality is some of that shit's true. Or you can take it on slowly in little doses and go, slow down with me. Let me take this. Let me understand. You understand it in your own way. You should see me at the accountants. I'm like, what does that mean? What is this? And Hamish is like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, I need to understand. Like, I want to know what the fuck is going on.
I used to be embarrassed of her asking questions of the accountant, but honestly, she's right. And she should.
I want to know.
I want to keep explaining it until I understand it.
Like, explain it like my 7-year-old is
true. And that was true. And it was really good that you did that because I obviously have a certain level of understanding, but I don't know everything. Yeah. And, you feel embarrassed sometimes when you go into these accounting firms and meetings and you don't understand things. You're like, oh, gosh, I feel stupid. So you don't ask the questions. And Erika's like, fuck, I'm going to ask as many questions
what is this?
As I can.
Yeah.
And
it's been good.
It's been really good. And I think another point that you just brought up about being rebellious, it's another aspect to money that I see happen with creators a lot of the time. When you feel burnt out, and I feel like we've done this before, and you feel like you're trying to build this business and it's not going anywhere, you often feel like you want to reward yourself. You feel like this is right. Like, you know what?
My God.
This is so hard. I work so hard. This is not fair. You know what? Let's take out $5,000 and go.
I deserve to go to Mecca.
I deserve to get some retail therapy, right? I deserve to put this. I deserve to spend it on a brand new computer. And
it's a tax write-off, right?
Who cares? I'm going to buy myself a new car because I deserve. I work so hard. Well, I've done it too. I've done this too. When I first started businesses, like, I work so hard for this. Stuff it. I'm going to buy the Golf R that I desperately want.
You still want it.
And I think the thing is, like, that's the part that you need to watch, because what we're really doing here is we're frustrated with business. We're frustrated with life, as we all do. And then what we end up doing is then, to get a bit of relief, we end up going and using that money as a sugar hit to feel good about ourselves in the moment. But sometimes those decisions, those emotional ones, cause so much harm to the business. Like, I used to buy cars in my businesses all the time. And now looking back on them, they were some of the worst financial decisions I made. And the way I justify it was like, I deserve this. I deserve a nice car because I work so hard. But now that I look at it, those cars cost me so much money, and those that know anything about assets will know they depreciate, they cost so much in maintenance.
Yep.
There's luxury tax, there's capital gains tax. There's no case to be made, but I just wanted it. And look, if you're doing it and you're sound of mind and you want to splurge and you want to make that, go for it. But I feel like many of us do it for the wrong reasons, and I feel like for a long time we were using the business as a way to kind of, rebel and go, fuck it, let's just spend money on things that are probably not necessary. But in the long term, they were hurting us.
Yeah.
And they were hurting the business.
Yeah.
And we were spending money that we didn't need to be spending or shouldn't be spending. And I think that was when we started to really go, let's not get emotional about money.
Yeah.
Let's really be rational. Let's set some rules and some guidelines. And that's why anyone that wants to know more, like we followed a method called Profit First, a book which we highly recommend.
Highly recommend in
which
business.
allows
Profit
you to kind
first.
of Profit First.
Yeah.
That allows you to put money away, and then when that money collates, then you go and purchase whatever you like. Like it's intentional, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not reactive where like I feel shit, so I'm going to buy it. But you're going, cool, I want this thing that I do not have, and now I'm going to put money towards it, and once that account builds up, I have earned the right to now purchase it. Like little rules like that.
Yeah, but
really
I think too, like the second part of that is like, yes, we need to understand what we're doing with our money, but I think the second part of that is when you have someone like Hamish in your head and you hate talking to him about this stuff. I know some of our clients have been like, oh, I don't want to talk to you about this. But once you do, and you start to understand how he thinks and why he thinks that way and why it's a good idea, and you start to go, oh, I can see where I've made these mistakes. Oh, yeah, true, shit. Then what happens to you is you get this version of him in your head. So now I wouldn't say I'm like Hamish, I'm like me. But I can think like him in certain times, and I'm noticing myself being tight with everything. And like, we don't have to be tight with everything, but I'm like, I'm not going to waste money on that. And he was like, wow, babe, I'm proud of you. And it's like, we have the money. What do rich people do? Rich people don't waste their fucking money on a bunch of stupid shit. That's why they're rich. They are tight. Rich people do not dress cute. They don't be buying expensive shit. Poor people buy expensive shit to look rich. And rich people look poor, but they got the money. That's honestly, you can see that.
And if you don't believe us, read the book, The Millionaire Next Door.
Yeah, literally.
Which goes through all the research on that.
Literally, it's actually a thing. So when you think about it, you're like, actually, I was born to a poor mother who grew up on food stamps in the hood, like, disability. She gets Medicare. She's in a nursing home now, and it's being paid for by the government, right? So I didn't have any of the wealth or modeling or role modeling or any of that shit. When Hamish met me, I had 2 maxed out credit cards. Yeah. Okay, like I was not a good catch financially or any other way. I had a lot of shit going on. Okay, so he poor guy. But like, if I can learn it, if anyone can learn this stuff and understand that, hey, you weren't taught these things about money. You've been in scarcity. When Hamish and I started working together in the business. Like we've worked together always, but like when he fully came into the Queen of Confidence, became like kind of the head of the business and started to teach us and talk to us about systems and why we do certain things and how that's not a great idea and why, like, because I'm like, wait, why? Tell me more. And so he was able to explain it to us. Then our team was kind of like, aha, that makes sense. Why we're doing this, why we hire this way, whatever. And one of the biggest things that I really got from you and the way that you think about money is like, really not being wasteful with the money that you're cultivating and what you're bringing in. And then I said to Hamish, I'm someone who's a creator. So like, I need to know how much I need to make and create. And then he's like, hey, we're spending this much. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how much is going out. Like, that's not my problem. That's something Hamish loves to look at. I'm the bringing in. So if you're listening to this and you're the visionary and you're the creative, you're the activation in your business, you can probably create wealth and money easily when you're tapped in and focused with all the things that we said. Mm-hmm. So I'll say to Hamish, how many? Is that 20 women? Done. And my subconscious hears that I need 20 women paying this much amount of money. And all of a sudden he's like, fuck, babe, we hit our goal. And I'm like, that's all I need. I don't care about where it goes. That's Hamish's thing in the business. And we talk about it every quarter. Yeah. But he knows that I am the creator and I draw in and I bring in. And I know that he is the one that holds it. He invests it, he tightens it, which is so awesome to have that in your business. And if you don't have a partner, then you have to become that person. Yeah. You have to become that person, because if not, you're going to be wasting money on bullshit, or you're going to struggle with your expenses being high, your income being too low. literally, I can't tell you enough how much mentorship and getting around community, or if your partner's in the business, getting activated and stop fighting them. Like they have something good to bring and maybe they're scared and you're not scared. Like help them not be fearful. Raven, I was about to call you. Raven, Hamish, Matthew, Noah. Anyway, fucking motherhood. Hamish was really fearful of the way that I was operating. And I was like beast mode and I wasn't taking him with me. Yeah. So I had to slow down and go, babe, this is what I'm doing. And he had to be like, you're full of shit.
But this is where, that's a really great point that that happens, right? When we're not communicating with our partners, business or intimate.
Real life, yep.
And we find when there's no communication and there's no trust or we're not hearing each other, hear me on this one, we are forced to go to the most extreme
measures,
energetic version of ourselves. Yep. So if you are masculine, you become hyper masculine or even more masculine. If you're feminine, you become even more feminine.
Yep.
So like if you think about it, the only way to balance out an energy, if you look at an energy field of two magnets together, the more polarized they are, the further apart they have to behave and act, right? So the more Erika was like, fuck you, I'm going to go do all these things and was really being kind of like, the creator, but the creator without any grounding, the more grounded I had to become.
Yeah.
And then when I become too grounded, I become fearful. I get into a cocoon. I'm like, we can't take any risk because she's 100% risk. And I become risk averse, but I have to because we're not finding a midpoint to balance each other out, if that makes sense, right? Yep. Or if I become too critical of her and if I draw her down too close towards me, then she loses her creative flair,
God,
right?
Yes.
And then you become like,
slow as fuck.
Oh, no, you're right. We should just be scared.
Too comfortable.
And we shouldn't take risk, blah, blah, blah. Like I've convinced her to come onto my side because I've gone too deep into the safety and the comfort and let's not risk and let's not go.
That's such a
Does
good
that make
point.
sense? So
Fuck.
like
we need a relationship business podcast.
I think we're tied to people, like again, whether they're your intimate partners or not, we're tied to them for some reason. And I think we tend to want to fight against them. But it's really the energy of them that we're fighting against, and it forces us as people to then go more extreme into the opposite direction as opposed to going, okay, there's something of that person there's a reason I'm with them and there's something they've got that I need.
Totally.
And vice versa.
We see that in every couple, by the way.
Every couple.
Every freaking couple.
Every relationship, every
couple. They don't
couple,
see it, but we
partner
see it.
is the cure.
Yeah.
Right? But the people together are not willing to wave the white flag. They're not willing to lower the guard. They're not willing to actually listen. They're not willing to take
bow down
criticism or whatever it is, right? And to really understand each other and have empathy for each other and go, hang on, you're right there and I'm right here, and both people have to do this, right? It's not a one-sided thing. And once you come together, then you're like, oh, I get where you're coming from.
Totally.
And when we don't do that, we're forced as people to go more to the extreme, and that just causes more turmoil, more conflict, more draining of energy, and then these cycles continue to happen over and over again.
God, we could talk about I think we need to come back into the masculine, feminine, and podcast about relationships. Clearly, we're very passionate. And one of the things that I want to give us props about, Mr. Cramer, fuck it, it's my show. I'm going to give us props because I know how hard it has been for us to get here. And because we coach multiple women in business who are in relationships, and we've coached couples in business with our Power Couples workshops and things. And we're going to do that again. Don't worry, it's coming soon. I think one of the things that we've become really great at is I've lowered my guard and waved the white flag as I've done my healing work and my own responsibility taking and been like, fuck Hamish, I'm allowing you to come in. Yeah. I'm allowing myself to listen, to truly listen, not to respond, but to truly listen to your side and the way you think. Even if in my head I'm like, that's fucking stupid. I want to listen to you. I want to hear you. And then if I'm like, why is this the way? How come you think like this? Oh, your past, your upbringing, your beliefs, the experiences you've had. Cool. Then I can really hear him and I can go, this is what I'm getting from you. All right, this is the way I think. And then he has to be quiet. He has to listen to me. He has to consider my past, my experience, why I think this way, what I've experienced, what I'm coming from. And then he can really take me and go, all right, and what part of that is really awesome that I'm lacking in and I really struggle with? And what part of you Erika is really awesome that I struggle with that I can take in. And Hamish always jokes around and says like he would be in a fucking cave on a mountaintop all alone, meditating and being like, fuck the world. Like I just want to be a crab, right? He wouldn't come out of his shell. He wouldn't do events and speak on stage. And I'm still trying to get a book out of him. I'm just like, come on, you should do a book. Like he's just like, you know? And then I would just be like, you know the fucking ping pong machines? Is that what they're called? Those machines where you pull the thing and it's like bing, ding, 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 bing, bing, with all the flashing fucking lights? That would be me. I would be like ping ponging around the world because of my massive desire to have global impact, that my nervous system would be fucking ruined. Yeah. I would be exhausted. I'd be sick all the time. And we see clients that get sick all the time, and we've had them as clients, and they don't have a strong person to be like, hey, slow the fuck down. Yeah. Take care of yourself. Say no to that. Da da da. So I want to say to you, like, I think in Bali it happened when we had our healing retreat together, where I felt like Hamish, I allowed him in. I came into him, and now there's a little version of Erika that lives in Hamish and a version of Hamish that lives in me. Totally. And so we can respect and think like the other. And we know he's a fucking powerful being who has great ideas and is amazing. And I am
a powerful being. He's fucking great.
Yeah, thanks.
And amazing.
Queen Erika. Anyway,
someone kicked me under the table.
I know. I'm like, dude, this motherfucker say what I want to. That one. I'm just pinching him under the table. No, but like, it's really true. Like, I think that that ability to do that, and in partnership, if you are in a marriage or a partnership, it's so important, and it's one of the things that couples don't come to for a long time. And if they could do that in the beginning, I know it's hard, but like, shit, your whole relationship, like, it would be amazing.
I think the best businesses are the best businesses are ones that have partnerships. I really do.
Couples. You mean?
Yeah, the ones that have couples, and I think because relationships are there for us to grow, and a business card, it will grow you. And if you can allow your relationship to grow with that business, and you can grow all together, I think.
And with the family, it's amazing.
I agree. I think it's the best scenario. It's been the biggest personal development growth for us, has been running a business. And it made us look at our relationship, and it made us look at ourselves individually.
And as parents.
Yeah. And we had to really come to terms with the way we were behaving, our upbringing, our childhood, our cultural experiences, like all of that influences your relationship. And we had to really confront them and deal with it, and put the mirror on ourselves and look at our own behavior and look at how we're responding and look at our language. It's
been fun. It's fun.
It has not been easy, right? Yeah. And then you think about all the stuff that you have to do just for a business, and then you've got all this personal work to do on the inside. Yeah. So I think that's where the success lies, because it's not really about how much money you're making and how much impact and success. Like, I think we all have different definitions of what success can be. And I think once you define that, like, we came back from America and I'm like, babe, fuck, we've got it. We're so lucky. We're so blessed. You know, we've got a great family. We live in a great community. We've got a great business. We make great money. We've got investments. Like, we've got all the things. Like, is there more for us to achieve? Absolutely. But I was able to take a moment and go, man, we're doing great. Like, we're successful. We're really successful according to our definition, right?
Yeah.
And you'll have your own definitions. And I think sometimes we don't know what that is, and we take on other people's.
Yeah.
And I think once you start to open up to parts of yourself, and you start to do the work on yourself, and you start to integrate with your partner, I think that's where you really start to find true happiness.
Beautiful. We're getting into another episode, as you can hear. Anyway, this has been a big one. Might cut it into two. But we want to say genuinely, if you don't have this support, find this support. If you have a friend in your community who's in business, get together with your friends in business. I have my group of women that we create our own little masterminds, and it's not paid. It's just women that are high-level business women, and we like fucking amazing-ass women, and we ask each other questions, and we're like, is this stupid? What am I doing here? Yeah. You know, and I think it's so powerful to have that. Secondary, if you think that I've done an amazing job in my business and like, fuck, Erika's killing it, I want to be transparent. This is my secret weapon, friends. Hamish Cramer, he's fucking amazing, and I'm genuinely mean that. As a person in business, you're amazing. As a husband, as a father, you're amazing. But I wouldn't be able. I have so much drive and impact and energy. It's fucking like ridiculous, like electric. It's a lot, and I just wouldn't be able to channel it. I'm getting emotional. I love you. I wouldn't be able to channel it like properly if it wasn't for having you and the way that you are and what you've been able to do for our business and our offers and our community. And me and Hamish, like, we fucking love what we get to do. Like, we're obsessed with our clients. We genuinely want to help. Yeah. We could sell our souls to the fucking influencer bullshit. Yeah. We could do all kinds of fucking unintegral things. We've been in business a really long time, I feel. like we've been in business a while and we've been able to see mentors and people that are not in integrity and communities that we've joined that we're like, whoa, what's happening behind the scenes? We've seen a bit, you know? And so I really genuinely can't tell you enough. If you think I'm awesome and successful, please give props to Hamish, because it's because of this amazing man that we've been able to do what we do, and we continue. And I know that I've got to give props to myself, but without the support, I would just be a fucking ping pong ball rolling around, and the world will take you, my friend. It will give you all the distractions. It will sell you the fucking bullshit. You can have fame, you can have this. It will sell you all that. Yeah. But having the integrity and being grounded in why the fuck you're here and what you're here to do, and understanding your money and your focus and your drive and being in a community is so important. So we want to say, if you would like to borrow my husband within the Queen's Table, you can have him. You can have him in there. We would love to support you. If you are a woman in business who is an expert at what she does, you've been doing it for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you want to crack 7 figures, you have massive impact to make, you want to get on stage, you want to write books, you want to travel, you want to help people, you want to monetize your knowledge, like you know shit, and you're like, how do I put this into an offer so I can impact a lot of people and have the lifestyle, have the freedom, be able to travel, but impact as well, then the Queen's Table is a place where you can come and check out. I'm going to drop the link inside of the show notes. You can also go to thequeenofconfidence.com/Queen's Table. And you can watch the video about what the Queen's Table is about. Literally, Hamish and I both are in it. I think it's important to have mentorship where there are different people. Different perspectives, not just someone like you. And in case you don't know, that is the only container where we do one-on-one coaching. So my one-on-one, I don't do one-on-one coaching because I believe in impact of multiples. Hamish is done. He can't do any one-on-one coaching. So we do one-on-one inside the Queen's Table. We do group inside the Queen's Table, and we do intensives quarterly as well. So it's an amazing community. If you're keen and you're interested, please do not fill out the application if you are a beginner, because it's not for beginners. That's the next level. I'll link that as well. But if this is you and you're like, fuck, I'm all over the place and I need some support because I really do want to hit my 7 figures and impact, then that is for you. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Thank you,
Thanks,
Secret
guys.
Weapon. Woohoo!
Thanks.
Thank you so much for listening. I freaking love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your ears and your energy and your attention. Thank you for letting me into your world. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in to this podcast. There are so many podcasts you can listen to, and I deeply, for real, appreciate you listening to mine. Do me one big favor, one big thing. Please share this episode or this podcast with a woman who you know needs to hear this. This is my mission on planet Earth, to serve as many women as possible so that we could show up, stand up, speak up, and create the confidence and the life that we desire. I appreciate you, my love. I will see you on the next episode.